Will the Committee on Executive Matters and Legal Affairs please come to order? It's 1:04 p.m. I'd like to welcome committee members Kiaina, Okimoto, Sei, Tulba, and Tupola. Committee member Wire and Chair Waters is excused from today's meeting. We also have Councilmember Cordero, who's participating remotely by video conference. Councilmember Cordero, in accordance with HRS Section 92-3.7, please identify each person with you at your location, if any.
I am alone.
All right. Well, thank you. And before we start our meeting, I have some procedural announcements to make. Pursuant to Section 92-3.7, how about your revised statutes? This meeting will be conducted as a remote meeting by interactive conference technology with the following procedures in effect for the meeting. Members of the public will be allowed to provide oral testimony remotely or in person in the council chamber on all items on the agenda when each item is taken up. All persons who registered to testify in person will be called upon first, followed by those who registered to testify remotely. Before testifying, each person shall state their name. Each speaker may not have anyone else read their statement and is limited to a 1-minute presentation on each item. For remote testifiers, when your name is called, please monitor your screen and activate your audio feed when prompted. For those who are joining us by telephone only, please press *9 to indicate your desire to speak. All registered testifiers will be called upon first, and then I'll give persons who have not registered an opportunity to speak following the oral testimonies of the registered speakers. Please utilize the raise hand feature in Zoom to be called upon. HRS Section 92-3.7 requires all votes at remote meetings to be conducted by roll call unless unanimous. Therefore, if any objections are noted, I'll call for a roll call vote. For those council members participating from outside of the council chamber in accordance with HRS Section 92-3.7, the meeting will automatically recess if we lose audiovisual contact with you and cannot reconvene until we reestablish contact. Therefore, please announce beforehand if you'll be voluntarily signing out of the meeting. Written testimonies, including the testifier's address, email address, and phone number, will be available to the public as described in the posted agenda. And as a courtesy, please turn off all cell phones for the duration of this meeting. Members will turn to agenda item number 1, which is Resolution 24-242, which urges the Hawaii State Legislature to enact legislation that addresses the drastic increases in property insurance premiums and property insurance market instability. This was introduced by Councilmember Okimoto. Councilmember Okimoto, would you like to make some remarks now or during discussion?
I can do it during discussion, Chair.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
Well, we have with us, is there anyone from the administration who would like to testify on this matter? Okay, seeing none, why don't we call for registered testifiers? Clerks, do we have anyone registered or waiting to testify here in the chamber or remotely on this item?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. And remotely, again, there's nobody on this agenda?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, great. Members, discussion. Councilmember Okimoto.
Thank you, Chair. And I appreciate you for putting it on the agenda for this committee. I'm sure I'm not alone in receiving numerous concerns and calls on a pretty much a daily basis in my office and throughout my community. We've been contacted. We know that the increase in homeowners insurance has been an ongoing concern in my community for sure, but I'm assuming in others. Homeowners associations or HOAs often pass on rising insurance costs to residents in the form of higher monthly fees or special assessments. These increases can be influenced by market trends, inflation, the rising cost of materials, and more expensive labor. These are amongst just some of the many factors that can contribute to the dramatic increases in insurance premiums. So my office and I, as I stated, have been contacted with numerous constituent concerns throughout my district, some of which have seen their insurance rates go up by 165%. And I would just like to share just a bit of data from this constituent. For example, this constituent's concern, this constituent had their insurance premium increase this year from about $488,000 to nearly $1.3 million for year 2025 and projected to increase in 2026 to about $2.5 million. This is a monthly premium increase from $641 to $1,835, an increase of almost $1,200. These types of increases are really financially crippling to many families. And, at this time on the heels of a holiday season, with some constituents reporting that some foreclosure notices have already been sent out. So this resolution, the purpose was really to urge the state legislature to aggressively pursue relief for these families. We talk constantly about the outgoing or the departure of our local families, and this really is just another way that we need to make sure, what can we do to keep our local families here? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Members, I'd like to welcome Chair Waters. Members, any other discussion on this? Councilmember Tupola and then Sei.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I do see here on the Be It Resolved that it's going to give a copy to the Director of Commerce and Consumer Affairs. So we do have a state insurance commissioner. His name is Gordon Ito. I think we should all have his number. I call him because I think some of the cases that I've encountered in my district, but also a lot of guys who call me from Maui, some of them are individual, some of them are HOA based. So I've been kind of working with him in his office to try to sort out which ones we think we can tackle, which ones they're actually going to talk to insurance companies directly about, because there was an unfair amount of documentation that was required to get an insurance benefit. So I think that's one. And secondly, I did do a hazard assessment in my community to create a FireWise community through I think it's called Hawaii Wildfire Management, HWMO. Anyways, if you do it correctly and you actually mitigate the hazards, you can get a drop in your insurance through your association if you do it correctly. So I would encourage maybe working with his office or with him directly. He's been pretty responsive, and I don't know if it's worth noting his, that this insurance commissioner's name office in here instead of just DCCA. But either way, hopefully he gets it. But I would say that those are pretty good things that if anyone needs, that they'd be good to contact him directly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Say.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I'm in strong support of this particular measure. And more importantly, I wanted to reflect how I've looked at this particular insurance debacle that we are all facing. If you start off with what happened when Marco Polo occurred, what the council did in regards to tax credits for the homeowners, a $2,000 real property tax credit, when it may cost you $50,000 to retrofit your particular unit, you make the call. We have been negligent, both the county and the state, in addressing insurance. So now we've come to the point where the AOAs and all the homeowners are now beginning to see the impact. As cost rises in all areas of the city and county of Honolulu, and you folks can correct me if I'm wrong, I saw a report where the state of Hawaii had the largest inflation costs in the country. Was it 30%? I can't recall. But it was in the double digits. My point today is that I am pleading with all of us because I'm trying to plead for the seniors who are on fixed income. Social Security, pension, federal retirements. The increases are not catching up with inflation. So what do? Twiddle our fingers, our hands? No. We've got to ask the legislature, and I was just a little disappointed at this point in time. We didn't invite the governor's task force. It came out in the paper that he has a task force. But we would like to know what their plans are too. Why? Here in this council for the past 4 years, what was our number one priority? Housing. Housing. And we are trying our best to control the costs of the construction of housing units. Okay, once the units are built, we have all these applicants, 80% AMI, 40% AMI, 120. My point to you today is this. Even with these conditions of average median income, area median income, it's going to be very difficult for those units to be sold. Another case in point last week. Now we had to subsidize a HHFDC project. And they blame the council. They blame the council that we have to mandate the 30-year ownership. It wasn't the council. It was a developer to get all the benefits in regards to the 201H. What is our community benefit? It is. I'm telling you, it's a crisis right now because I was hoping to see some of our construction brothers and sisters here too. We've got to address this issue. If nobody's buying, nobody's going to be working in building more affordable housing or market housing. And it's going to really, really impact us because what other group out there, no one wants to say anything, is quiet. I don't see HIC, the Hawaii Insurance Council. I don't see the financial institutions who are here who has the mortgage loans. This is really, really a critical issue. if we are really sincere in promoting affordable housing also. That is why I've always said, when we look at what we have to do in regards to building a particular unit, affordable unit, what is the cost per square foot? What is the cost of your mortgage? What is your cost that a lot of members, not members, but the public don't see? The common area maintenance fee. You add all that up, how much, if there's no buyers from our local population, it's all gonna be outsiders. Is that what we want? Outsiders buying our new buildings, new condos and homes? And it's all what? I got this report, Chair, and I think maybe you got it. I don't wanna mention the name, but he showed us all the sales of homes in the district that I do represent. And the median price is about $900,000 for a condo to a 1.2 to 1.5 million for homes. But these homes are not the brand new homes. These homes are the old homes. So you can see how much we are really forcing our local residents out of the market. So in closing, I wish HIC was here to say, hey, we support this resolution urging the legislature. I hope the trades would have been here to support this particular legislation. And finally, the financial institutions, because they all be a part of the whole package of financing projects in the state of County of Oahu. So for Councilwoman Okimoto, thank you very much for introducing it, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
So again, thank you, Council Member Okimoto, for introducing this. This is part of our efforts to be a pro-housing council and to control the cost, make sure we're dealing with supply, demand, and stability of housing across this island. All right. At this time, the chair recommends that Resolution 24-242 be reported out for adoption. Any further discussion, objections, or reservations? Okay, hearing none, so ordered. Members, up next we have executive session. The following items as posted on the agenda have been referred to executive session. I'll read the items individually to allow for oral public testimony on each item. Item number 2 is a request for authorization to settle a case against the City and County of Honolulu entitled Scarlet Honolulu, Inc. et al. Versus Honolulu Liquor Commission et al. Civil number CV21-00457 MWJS/KJM USDC. Clerks, do we have any in-person registered testifiers for this item? I see somebody standing by to testify, so Angela, please proceed.
Aloha, Angela Melody Young, testifying on behalf of CARES. Wishing to comment. So in this case heard in federal court downtown a few days ago, as I read from the District Court of Hawaii's filings, the violation the plaintiff, Scarlet, has declared is basically a violation of civil rights, of LGBTQIA rights, which is the equal protection and due process as the 14th Amendment guarantees, due to negligence in hiring and training of the supervision of the county's Liquor Commission, a civil right which is interfered with or discriminated, or there is a harassment that has caused the right to be discriminated upon. The discriminatory practice made in bad faith leads to harassment occurring. So even if there is a probable cause of a violation in a bar or a club establishment because of witnesses of a high level of noise or a minor overcapacity issue occurring inside the facilities, it doesn't matter. So you cannot diminish the rights of a man or a woman or a Black person or discriminate against those with disabilities and a medical condition when citing a violation. So moving forward, the federal court case has led to mandatory reform of the county's agencies, and important highlights include reform, right? So I think, although that's what the court says, I'm not gonna put in my own opinion. I will put in a few opinions about training, that there can be culturally sensitive training, medically relevant training, and business leadership training for partnerships with counties, offices, and establishments to prevent violations from occurring in facilities if there is an anticipation that there will be minor overcapacity concerns and a high level of noise.
Thank you, members. Any questions? Okay, seeing none. Clerks, is there anyone else standing by remotely or registered remotely to testify?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, and seeing nobody else in the chamber, we'll move on to testimony on item number 3. This is a resolution to request additional funds for contract number SCCOR 23-00040 to continue the services of McCorriston, Miller, Mukai, and MacKinnon LLP as special counsel to represent defendant Daniel Sellers in a legal action entitled Iosefa Pasene versus City and County of Honolulu et al. Civil number CV21-00457 DKWWRP USDC. Clerks, do we have any in-person registered testifiers for this item or anyone standing by to testify?
Chair, there are none.
And clerks, do we have any registered remote testifiers or anyone standing by remotely to testify?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. There being none, we'll move on to testimony on item number 4. This is a request for authorization to settle a case against the City and County of Honolulu entitled Tamara Taylor individually and on behalf of her minor child, NB, versus City and County of Honolulu et al. Civil number CV22-00013 HG KJM USDC. Clerks, do we have any in-person registered testifiers or anyone standing by to testify?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, and clerks, do we have any registered remote testifiers or anyone standing by remotely to testify?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, there being none, members, are there any objections to convening into executive session? Okay, Councilmember Cordero?
Chair, I'll be leaving the meeting now.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there being no objections, the committee convenes into a closed meeting pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statutes Section 92-4 and 92-5A4 to consult in a closed meeting with its attorneys on questions and issues pertaining to the powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and or liabilities of the city, the council, and its committees on the items listed on the agenda for executive session. The following persons will be participating in executive session, all council members present. From Corporation Counsel, Dwayne Pang, Lex Smith, who's special counsel, and Robert M. Cohn, Winston Park, the OCS Director, Jana Pitcher, OCS Deputy Director, and Seichi Liu, OCS Staff Attorney. I'll now call a recess. The Committee on Executive Matters and Legal Affairs is reconvened. It's 2:26. Pursuant to Section 92-4 and 92-5A4 about your revised statutes, the committee is consulted in executive session with its attorneys on questions and issues pertaining to the powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities of the city, the council, and its committees on the items listed on the agenda for executive session. I'll now make my recommendations on the executive session items. With regard to agenda item number 2, the chair recommends that the request for authorization to settle a case against the City and County of Honolulu entitled Scarlet Honolulu, Inc. et al. versus City and County versus Honolulu Liquor Commission et al. Civil number CV21-00457 be approved. Any discussion?
Oh.
Councilmember Okimoto.
Sorry, Chair, I was just going to vote with reservations at the time of the vote.
All right. Seeing no discussion, any objections or reservations?
Reservations.
Noting
I'm with reservations too.
the reservations from council members Okimoto and Talba. This item is approved. Thank you. For agenda item number 3, the chair recommends that a resolution to request additional funds for contract number SCCOR 2300040 to continue the services of McCorriston, Miller, Mukai, and MacKinnon, LLP, as special counsel to represent defendant Daniel Sellers in a legal action entitled Iosefa Pasene versus City and County of Honolulu et al. Civil number CV21-00457 be approved. Any discussion, objections, or reservations? Hearing none, so ordered. Finally, agenda item number 4, the chair recommends that the request for authorization to settle a case against the City and County of Honolulu entitled Tamara Taylor, individually and on behalf of her minor child NB, versus City and County of Honolulu et al. Civil number CV22-00013 be approved. Any discussion, objections, or reservations?
Please note my reservations, Chair.
Noting the reservations of Councilmember Okimoto, this item is approved. There being no further business for this committee, the meeting is adjourned. It's 2:28. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we will be back at 2:38. Yeah.